The communists, Marxists, fascists, and the radical left thugs.
The president is facing intense backlash today after his stunning decision to pardon his son Hunter.
5 times the woke media straight up lied. The woke media's insanity has reached new heights, pushing narratives that defy common sense and even reality. The media is supposed to inform, not mislead. But sometimes the woke agenda drives outright falsehoods. From covering up the Hunter Biden laptop controversy to lying about crime data, we'll uncover 5 shocking times when the woke media straight up lied and got caught red-handed. Number 5, misrepresenting Trump's MSG rally. Spinning wild narratives about Donald Trump's event at Madison Square Garden. The woke media is on fire, and this time they have gone so far as to liken the rally to a Nazi gathering that convened on the same site back in 1939. They stated that Trump's rally resembled Hitler's supporters.
It's particularly chilling because in 1939, more than 20,000 supporters of a different fascist leader, Adolf Hitler.
Headlines and commentators push this comparison, suggesting that Trump supporters were akin to Nazi sympathizers. This narrative was not only false, but also insulting to millions of Americans. It seems their goal was to demonize Trump and his base by associating them with one of history's most evil regimes.
John Kelly, who was one of Donald Trump's White House chiefs of staff, told the New York Times Donald Trump would rule like a fascist if reelected.
As Sam Orwell has said, the media expands the definition of demonized groups to include new people they wish to mistreat, pointing to lines like poisoning the blood. The woke media argues it resembles terminology used by Hitler and Mussolini. Calling Trump a fascist merely because he expresses his opinion is nothing short of a slander strategy used to generate resentment.
What Mussolini used to say, what Stalin used to say, what Hitler used to say, and then you bring up things that Donald Trump has said, including they're poisoning the blood of our country, they're destroying the blood of our country.
This is not the first time Trump's actions and motives have been misrepresented. In April 2020, CNN was bold enough to claim that Trump was wrong about using hydroxychloroquine to effectively treat coronavirus. Then, in July of the same year, the same network floated a headline admitting that hydroxychloroquine actually helped coronavirus patients. The truth is, Trump's rallies attract enormous numbers of people. Not because they are radicals, but because they are looking for actual transformation. Instead of addressing real problems, the media constantly twist history to discredit Trump. Perhaps it's time the media shifted its emphasis from sensationalizing to factual accuracy. Number 4, covering the Hunter Biden laptop story. Now, rewind back to just a few years ago, when the woke media was doing all it could to hide the Hunter Biden laptop scandal. Weeks before the presidential election, in October 2020, the New York Post revealed a shocking story about a laptop owned by Hunter Biden. Emails and records pointed to unlawful activities involving Hunter and his father, Joe Biden, were supposedly found on the device. It included evidence of corruption as well as Hunter Biden's drug addiction.
And just sat on it, basically. Didn't speak up when the Post got its hands on the laptop and we were accused of falling for Russian disinformation. And all the media went for it.
It all started when Rudy Giuliani, Trump's lawyer, got the laptop's contents from a Delaware computer repair facility after Hunter Biden failed to retrieve the device. The laptop revealed potentially damaging material related to Hunter's corrupt business dealings and personal life. Giuliani promptly turned it over to the authorities. At that point, so-called professionals and even former FBI agents came in, noting it was a textbook disinformation campaign. They pushed the narrative that Russian operatives may have pilfered Hunter Biden's emails and placed them on the laptop. Instead of investigating the story, the media swiftly labeled it Russian disinformation, with outlets like the New York Times, Fox News, and CNN dismissing it as a baseless conspiracy theory.
He wanted us to have this. He also thought it displayed numerous crimes. So he gave them to my lawyer. We have the entire hard drive.
Social media platforms like Twitter and Facebook even went as far as censoring the story, preventing its dissemination, declaring it an unidentified allegation. They even suspended accounts, including those of the White House press secretary and the Trump campaign. This resulted in charges of censorship and assertions of election meddling. Later, the story was verified, and the laptop's content was confirmed as authentic. Surprise, surprise! A study by the Media Research Center found that 17% of Biden voters said they would not have voted for him had they known about the Hunter Biden laptop scandal. The media's suppression of this story was a calculated move to protect Biden's campaign and manipulate the electorate. This stands as a perfect example of their willingness to prioritize agenda over truth. Now, number 3, FBI manipulated 2022 crime data. Another case of interference popped up a little more recently. The woke media used a deceitful tactic to cover up their failures. In 2022, the FBI released crime statistics that media outlets initially reported as showing a decrease in crime across the United States. They tried to imply that crime was under control and that public fears were overblown. They first stated that 1.7% less national violent crime occurred in 2022 than in 2021. They confidently claimed that under the Biden-Harris government, crime was declining. However, it was later revealed that the FBI had quietly revised the data, showing that crime had actually increased. The original report omitted critical information, including data from several major cities with high crime rates. Despite the blatant manipulation, the media failed to issue corrections or hold the FBI accountable. They now have to admit that they did it wrong. The crime rate had increased by 4.9%. This is a significant difference, 880,000 more violent acts than first reported. This covers tens of thousands more attacks and robberies, as well as 1,699 additional murders and 7,780 more rapes. It was later revealed that the FBI's report omitted data from several major cities, including Chicago, New York, and Los Angeles, areas that traditionally account for a significant portion of the nation's violent crime statistics. Fortunately, John Lott, a political commentator, saw and reported the changes. The public had been misled. Concerns about rising crime had been dismissed as paranoia, all to maintain a facade of progress and stability. The timing of the report coinciding with efforts to downplay crime as a significant issue in the midterm elections suggests that the manipulation was not accidental. Number 2, media lies about Joe Biden's mental competence.
Karine Jean-Pierre also says he's not a lame duck president. No, a lame duck president would suggest that the duck is lame. He is a dead duck president.
Throughout Joe Biden's campaign and presidency, concerns about his mental fitness were a topic of intense public discussion. In July 2024, shortly after his debate with former President Trump, Joe Biden announced that he was stepping down from the 2024 presidential election, and these competency questions resurfaced. Many recognized the move as a result of his cognitive decline. However, the mainstream media aggressively dismissed these concerns as baseless. The White House did the same.
Why is it in the country's best interest for him to step aside? Does it have to do with his health, or
it does not have to do? They have nothing to do with his health.
However, they couldn't run from the truth for long. Despite his age, Biden was presented by the woke media as totally fit and up for the job. In reality, 82-year-old Joe Biden seems to be struggling to keep up with even his normal activities and tasks. Outlets like CNN and NBC ran pieces claiming that Biden's inabilities and lapses were simply the result of age or overwork, that his mental ability was not in question. These defenses ignored mounting evidence to the contrary. To their credit, the Wall Street Journal reported that over 45 people familiar with the matter, including Democrats, claimed that Biden was clearly showing symptoms of mental illness. The Post said he sometimes speaks so softly in meetings that people cannot hear him, stops for raised links, and even closes his eyes as if he is zoned off. He also overlooks important policy facts, therefore confusing even his supporters. As usual, many in the media have quickly discounted or ignored these problems rather than addressing them directly. Biden supporters tried to present his struggles as wisdom or experience. Meanwhile, Republicans attacked him as unfit for office. Both sides have partisan motives, but it's clear the woke media has gone out of its way to hide Biden's mistakes, pretending as though they are not important.
Someone speaking too low is really not a sign that they're struggling with their mental capacity.
Anyone who pays attention saw as plain as day that Biden had lost his edge. The media owes it to the public to tell the truth. People deserve honest, objective reporting and not excuses. By covering Biden's backside, the media deprived the public of information needed to make their own decisions. Once again, they had put their own political agenda above their duty to report the truth.
Due to the fact that it raises concerns about Biden's mental and physical capacities.
Now, number 1, Joe Biden's broken promise of pardoning Hunter Biden. During his 2020 presidential campaign, Joe Biden explicitly promised the American people that he wouldn't use his office to benefit his family. In an effort to appear transparent and ethical, Biden assured voters that Hunter would face the same scrutiny as anyone else and that there would be no presidential intervention. This pledge was significant, as Hunter Biden was already under investigation for tax violations and potential corruption involving foreign business deals. Fast forward to the end of 2024, and reports emerged that Biden had issued a pardon for Hunter, and not just a pardon, a blanket pardon for any and all activity since 2014. 2 important federal trials earlier this year found Hunter guilty, one for late tax payments and another for lying in the form of a weapon.
I hope folks don't forget what the president has been able to do, the actions that he's been able to take over the last 4 years.
President Biden came in to effectively remove all burden of guilt. Biden justified his move by claiming that politics unfairly targeted Hunter. He said his son was treated differently by the court system. Biden stated in his words, "They're not just trying to break Hunter, they're trying to break me."
As we sit here in Normandy, your son Hunter is on trial, and I know that you cannot speak about an ongoing federal prosecution. But let me ask you, will you accept the jury's outcome, their verdict, no matter what it is?
Yes.
And have you ruled out a pardon for your son?
Yes.
The pardon was a betrayal of Biden's promise and a dangerous precedent for presidential overreach. By failing to call it out, the media proved once again that their allegiance lies not with the truth, but with protecting their favored political figures. This stark contrast in how the press treated Biden compared to his predecessors highlights their double standard.
He's issued more sentence commutation at this point in his presidency than any of his recent predecessors at the same point in the first term.
The woke media's willingness to mislead the public for political gain erodes trust and damages the very fabric of democracy. It's up to us to stay vigilant, question the narratives, and hold the media accountable for their actions. Truth matters, and we can't let them rewrite it. What do you think? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And check out our recent video highlighting the woke generals that are panicking over Trump's defense secretary pick. Thanks for watching.